Hello everyone, welcome to Rakka tutorials. Today I am gonna show you how to manage a simple monthly budget. And on my laptop I have the Microsoft Office 10, or the most updated, the most current version. But on my desktop I have the 2007 version. So I was gonna show you guys how to, basically get this template, because it's pretty useful and it's pretty neat and it's pretty clean. So yeah, I can show you guys how I do it on my 2010, so you guys know. But apparently it's not available in the 2007 version. So basically what you do is you go to new, and then there's gonna be a whole bunch of templates or whatever. uh, there should be many that pop up here. So what you want to do is just look for the simple monthly budget one. You can probably type it in here in the search bar, and it'll show up. But that's, like I mentioned earlier, only in the 2010 version. As you can see here, it says please update Office to get the template. So these templates are pretty neat. They save you a lot of trouble. You can basically do this, by yourself. But I mean, why do it and go through all the trouble if someone has already done it for you? So basically, on this first template, or this first tab, called the summary, you basically have the simple monthly budget. And here is your percentage of income spent. I'll get into that a little bit later. So here's your summary of basically your total monthly income, your total monthly expenses, and your remaining balance. So here's a basic chart. Bar graph has your income, your expenses, 0 to 2,500, because that's the most you earn. So yeah, that's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. The next tab has your simple monthly budget. So let's say you earn at 11 $12 per hour, which is, close to minimum wage. But I'd say an average wage, for an average Joe. Um, so basically, if your only income is your job, um, and that's 2,000, or let's edit that a little bit here and put a 2,200 for the month, and that is your only source of income, then that's basically all you have for the month. That's what you're gonna be earning. So that's basically 2,200, after deductions. So let's move on to the third tab, which is the fixed monthly expenses. So here you have your, you know, basically your monthly expenses, which range from your mortgage to your credit cards, life insurance. I personally, this is one that I tailored for myself. So I did edit this one, personal care and beer. I added $50 to that. So but yeah, everything else is like, you know, you got your life insurance, auto insurance, basically all the things that most people have have an expense on for a month, on a monthly basis. So let's see here. Let's say my rent is let's say my rent is 600 a month, right? Electricity is $25 a month. Gas is 55. Cell phone 45. Groceries, let's say 200. Car payment, say 150. Auto expenses 35. Student loans 100. Credit cards 50. Auto insurance 100. Let's move that to 100. Personal care and beer, let's move that down to 35. Life insurance, let's move that down to 100. And miscellaneous 55. So what I like about the simple monthly budget and the way that I calculate, my monthly expenses is these would be roughly estimates. I every month I balance my budget using this template, and the way I do it is I basically I have my set, expenses, like for example my cell phone bill and my rent. I know that those are gonna be 645 respectively every month, set in stone. So I know that I need to save 645 from my, monthly income. I basically have to devote that amount of money into here. So those are the set expenses. Other things that can, that are variable, like, like groceries or credit cards. Those, and I probably should highlight these in red. You know, I'm gonna highlight the more variable, um, gas and electricity. They might be a little bit more, a little bit less, but this is basically the estimate. So this basically gives me an idea of what I'm gonna be spending on all my needs. Um, so what I like to do is, at the end of the month, I like to go back, check. I mainly use my credit card for all my purchases, so I like to go back, look at my monthly statement, and compare how much did I spend on groceries versus what I anticipated. So, let's say that at the beginning of the month I basically set aside or had in mind $200 to spend on groceries, but I ended up spending 235 instead. Um, with the electricity, let's say hypothetically, all of this is hypothetically, I ended up spending 15, so a little bit less there. Um, So I like going back and comparing that so that next month I, kind of have an idea of where where I'm at and kind of know what I can spend. And then basically after you fill this out, you go back to your summary, and then it'll show you this, if you notice, changed from the beginning. It was like 60 something, now it's 71%. So the percentage of your income that's spent is 71%. So what that means is from your $2,200 that you earn a month, you're roughly going to be spending 71% of that. So you're going to be left with like 30% basically profit to, so you can do whatever you need to with that. But this shows you, basically your income, 2,200, and this shows you your expenses, 1,570. So I really, like I said, this is basically pretty straightforward, and it's simple, it's clean. You don't have to, go and edit all the cells and make the table and do all that stuff. You can. I'm gonna try to find the link and the link for the template. Um, but yeah, I've seen other templates, and this is the one that caught my eye the most. And yeah, I just think it's pretty simple. So this basically shows you, if you're earning 2,200 a month, which is basically nothing, um, and your basically your cost of living is 1,570. You're not left with a lot at the end of the month. So it basically shows you how much you can spend. If you want to buy a PlayStation 4 and you want to go out to the bar or eat out 2-3 times a week, and you're gonna drain that 630 pretty quick. So it just kind of places things into perspective, so that you take care of your money and you don't overspend, and you don't end up using your credit cards and later have to pay that money back. You don't go over budget is what I mean. So that's basically the end of the tutorial. It's pretty straightforward, pretty easy, but it's, like I said, it's pretty useful. And yeah, this is basically my first video. I am going to be doing more DIYs and tutorials, and just anything that I feel that I can help people with, I'm basically going to record it and try to make it easy and straightforward. And I don't really like when I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and when I do, I don't. If I see that a video is more than 15 minutes long, I just kind of, I don't know if I want to watch that. I don't know if I want to devote all that time to that video. If it doesn't really, not really gonna teach me anything, or if it's not over, really entertaining. So that's just me. But yeah, um, comment down below, and if you have any question, or if you wanna know anything else of how I've tackled my expenses, and you know my deductions or anything like that. Yeah, I'd be happy to help out anyone with what I know. I'm not an expert or anything like that, but I'm not an 18-year-old kid as well. So, but yeah, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Alrighty, that's about it. Bye.